He shaped some of the most powerful moments in film history. He stood beside legends. He delivered performances that still echo decades later. And now, one of Hollywood's most respected actors has died. Robert Duvall has passed away at the age of 95. For nearly 7 decades, Duvall built a career not on noise, not on spectacle, but on precision. His style was controlled, measured, intense, without shouting. And in an industry built on ego, he became known as the actor who let the work speak. Born in 1931 in San Diego, California, he grew up in a military family. So did a deep respect for craft. He trained at the neighborhood playhouse in New York, alongside names that would also become icons. But unlike many of his peers, Duvall never chased fame. He chased truth in performance. His first major screen breakthrough came in 1962 with To Kill a Mockingbird, where he played Boo Radley. He barely spoke, yet audiences never forgot him. That was the pattern of his career: minimal words, maximum impact. Then came 1972. In The Godfather, Duvall portrayed Tom Hagen, the calm and calculating consigliere to the Corleone family. Surrounded by powerhouse performances, he remained steady, grounded, quietly commanding. He earned an Academy Award nomination for the role and reprised it in The Godfather Part 2. His presence anchored the chaos. But perhaps his most quoted performance came in 1979. In Apocalypse Now, Duvall stepped into the role of Lieutenant Colonel Bill Kilgore, a cavalry officer obsessed with surfing in the middle of war. The now iconic line about loving the smell of napalm in the morning became one of cinema's most unforgettable moments. It was bold, strange, hypnotic. He received another Oscar nomination. And yet he never became predictable. In 1983, Duvall delivered what many critics consider the defining performance of his career in Tender Mercies. Playing a washed-up country singer seeking redemption, he stripped away bravado and delivered vulnerability. The performance earned him the Academy Award for Best Actor. It was understated, deeply human, and profoundly moving. Throughout the 1980s and 1990s, Duvall continued to choose roles that challenged him. He starred in courtroom dramas, westerns, thrillers, and intimate character studies. In Lonesome Dove, he brought complexity to the American frontier myth. In The Apostle, which he also wrote and directed, he portrayed a flawed preacher struggling with faith and identity, earning yet another Oscar nomination. He did not rely on franchise fame. He built credibility through consistency. Over his lifetime, Robert Duvall appeared in more than 80 films and television productions. He earned 7 Academy Award nominations. He won 4 Golden Globes. He received a Screen Actors Guild Award and a National Medal of Arts. In 2005, he was honored at the Kennedy Center for his lifetime contribution to American culture. But numbers only tell part of the story. Colleagues often described him as intensely prepared, focused, sometimes private. Directors trusted him. Fellow actors studied him. Younger performers saw him as a master class in subtlety. He proved that power in acting does not require volume. It requires conviction. Even into his later years, Duvall continued working. In films like Get Low and The Judge, he brought the same gravitas that defined his early career. In The Judge, he earned yet another Academy Award nomination, decades after his first. That longevity is rare. That consistency is rarer. News of his death has prompted tributes across Hollywood and beyond. Actors, directors, and film institutions are remembering not only his performances, but his discipline, his seriousness about storytelling, his refusal to compromise on authenticity. Film historians say Duvall represented a bridge between classical Hollywood and modern American cinema. He worked with directors like Francis Ford Coppola, George Lucas, and countless others who reshaped film in the 1970s. Yet he adapted seamlessly to each new era. He never chased headlines. He avoided scandal. He allowed the characters to define him. And that may be why his legacy feels so enduring. There are actors who dominate scenes. There are actors who dominate box offices. And then there are actors who quietly elevate everything around them. Robert Duvall was the third kind. His performances will continue to be studied in film schools. His scenes will continue to circulate across generations, discovering classic cinema for the first time. His voice, steady and unmistakable, remains embedded in cultural memory. At 95, he leaves behind not just awards or accolades, but a blueprint for how to build a career with integrity. A career built slowly, carefully, authentically. Hollywood has lost one of its quiet giants, but cinema has gained something permanent. A body of work that does not fade. And as audiences return to The Godfather, to Apocalypse Now, to Tender Mercies, they will see what made Robert Duvall different. Restraint, control, truth. And in that truth, his legacy lives on.